Poor old Sed. He's been working here even longer than I have. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I suppose you must be some of those steam enthusiast people, aren't you? Come to buy an engine? Oh, sorry, I just thought I'd ask. I'm next in line to be cut up. 50 years I've been working for this company. 50 years. And this is how it ends. Being towed all the way from Southampton to Eastleigh Works to be cut up. On the day of withdrawal, too. Well, at least I won't be lingering around and rusting over like some of the other poor chaps here. Some have been waiting here for weeks, if not months, just waiting for their last run to oblivion. It's nothing new. I'm just another one of those thousands of engines that didn't make the list. Not one of the classes either. I'm the last of my kind. My brothers are all gone, sliced up at the very works which serviced, maintained, and kept us going in the glory days, before the modernisation plan, before the diesels. I'm just another rusting hulk, waiting for the end. Well, let me introduce myself. My name's Leo, and I'm a former London, Brighton and South Coastal Railway, or LBSCR, E2 class locomotive, designed by Lawson Billinton in 1913. I know what you're thinking, pretty old model. Well, compared to my first 5 brothers, I'm actually quite young. The first 5 of my brothers were ordered from Brighton Works by the LBSCR in 1913 to replace some of the Stirling E1 class shunting locomotives, which had become worn out or become unfit for the heavier shunting duties required of them. Now, it's actually quite ironic that a clapped out locomotive class from over half a century ago will survive into this new diesel era, while we, the engines that were brought in to replace them, will get completely wiped from the face of the earth. It's a small world, isn't it? My oldest brothers were delivered to the LBSCR between June 1913 and January 1914, and followed the traditional 060T wheel configuration, with a raised running board and a characteristic dip in the front and rear buffer beams. They were powerful shunters and tackled whatever job they were given with ease. They were so successful that the company ordered yet another 5 of us, which, although delayed by the onset of World War I, were delivered between June 1915 and October 1916, making me the latest and very last member of our class to be built, completed on October 31st, 1916, or to be more precise, Halloween, as LBSCR number 109. What a birthday. Once completed, I was dispatched to Stuart's Lane Depot as a yard shunter in November 1916, and continued there until the LBSCR was absorbed into the Southern Railway, thanks to the Grouping Act in 1923, becoming SR number 2109. Like the rest of my brothers, I worked heavier shunting duties and occasionally hauling short-distance local freight trains throughout the southern region of London, as our small coal bunkers made us rather unsuitable for the longer trips. But I didn't mind a bit. In fact, I rather enjoyed shunting. Playing with all the trucks and coaches in the yard, bumping them into each other, surprising them and making them yelp. What fun. But like all shunters, I kept my funnel down, and simply got the job done, whatever the weather, train, or load. Things were always best when they're in their proper places, as a friend of mine once said. While 2 of my oldest brothers were tried and failed as passenger engines, I was often allocated to empty stock duties between Victoria and London Bridge, until I was eventually transferred to Dover Harbour in the late 1930s following the electrification of the Brighton route by Southern Railways. The end of steam was creeping up on us before the war had even begun, but I still pressed on, with one of my favourite duties bringing in the stock for the night ferry, and banking the train out of Victoria before my transfer to Dover. During the war years, I, along with all the other steam engines of Britain, had to work my hardest and on limited resources, maintenance and cleaning. As a shunter, I was used to it, and made no fuss while the purebred passenger engines moaned and whinged about losing their perfect olive and apple green liveries to the austerity black, and the continuously growing coat of soot and grime. Anyone would think they were the ones being dropped in Nazi Germany, instead of the tanks, bombs and ammunitions I was constantly shifting to the quayside ready to be shipped out to occupied France. You know what they say, war brings out the best and the worst in us. As you may already know, during the war years, the regional barriers between the Big Four were temporarily lowered, allowing engines from other regions to travel into ours, taking supplies as well as soldiers to and from the coast, as Nazi Germany began to lose its grip on its occupied countries. It was during this era that I made my first friend outside my own region and railway. His name was Stephen, a Holden B12 locomotive from the northeastern region, who arrived from York Depot on regular visits delivering troops to and from the front line. I was grateful for his help, and we were soon firm friends, even after we were transferred to separate yards at the close of the war, him being transferred to Copley Hill Yard in Leeds, while I returned to Dover. At least I know he made it into preservation. I remained working on the Southern Railway until it was absorbed into BR in 1948 as the Southern Region of British Railways. The only thing to change was adding 3000 to my locomotive number, a less warm black coat of paint, and the lion astride the wheel insignia on my tank side. And that's how I got my name, Leo. Leo for the British Railways Lion. That's the main reason I've still got my early BR crest, even though most engines had theirs changed from 1957 onwards. After becoming property of the state, as the railwaymen called it, I was transferred to Southampton docks, this time to work as a dockyard shunter, where I remained until this very day, when I was finally displaced from my duties by a Class 7 diesel shunter. I love working by the sea. Well, at least I used to. It was what kept me going, even through the days when we all knew that time was running out for us all. Well, this is where my story ends. It's good timing in a way. I can hear a diesel coming. That means my time's up. Literally. You lot had better scarpen now before you get seen. The men here don't take too kindly to trespassers. Just do me one favour, just one little thing. Don't forget us. Don't forget what happened here. Scratch that, not just here, but all over the country. Our golden age is ending, and much of its heritage is being cast aside without a second thought. Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it again. I may not be happy that I was ousted from my ancestral metals by diesels, but don't judge them too harshly. These things happen. Change is natural. After all, we inherited these rails from horses when the industrial age was still young. It's too late for me, but please save at least some of the others. So many are marked for the cutter's torch that most of our kind will soon become extinct. Not even an East Coast legend like Flying Scotsman is due to survive. My old friend Stephen made it into preservation. Few are due to follow him into this new era unless something is done. Save something, anything of our golden age, the age of steam, because the chapter nears its end, as does the chronicle. The bell tolls for my kind, as it does for your time here. Go now, or you'll be caught. Go! Go!